may come out today. Sometimes the internet's kind of slow out here, but if not, I'm going to take the computer with me and see if I can do it tonight. So I'm just going to talk about what I just said, which is grip, aim, ball position, posture, and so forth. I'm going to put you next to a tour player in a minute. Not that you're going to play on TV anytime soon, but just in case, because you're going to really change the dynamics of everything that you do just by changing your setup. So what is your understanding? We're going to work on your grip. It's hard to see it here, but I'm going to zoom in. But we've got to really work on that, number one. But that grip, see how spaced out your hands are? I'll put up a tour player in a minute. We'll just kind of get your hands a little bit more unified so that they're working together. You can relate it to tennis a little bit, how you would hit a forehand in tennis, where your left hand would be neutral to the grip. A lot of the guys today play with a big Western grip because it's so much topspin. That's kind of what you're doing. I don't know if you were a big topspin forehand guy, but you kind of have that kind of left hand look with your left hand, but we'll work on that. Your biggest flaw, though, outside your grip, and I don't think your grip's going to be that hard to change, but your ball position. You'll see in a minute with the tour player. If you were hitting a forehand in tennis, wouldn't you hit the ball in front of you? So you've got 99% of your body in front of this ball. When I put up a tour player in a minute, you're going to see about 80% of their body behind the ball. So you're not using any of your big muscle speed to create any leverage. That's why you launch the ball really low, because you de-lofted the club so much because the ball's so far behind you. So from a ball position standpoint, if you use your belly button kind of as a guide, all your short irons, let's say your pitching wedges and gap wedges, sand wedges, even maybe your 9-iron, would be pretty close to center. Nothing goes behind center in your stance except on chips and pitches. So this is 90 degrees. So that's pretty close to where it should start with your wedges, and then it's going to gradually move forward. I'm going to put up a tour player in just a second just to show it to you, because I've got another guy that's hitting an 8-iron, and you'll see where it is. His 8-iron position is going to be somewhere right there. Probably nobody ever told you that, though.
I started it way far back.
It's okay. That's why you're here. Now let's look at the one on the left. Again, that I can see grip and ball position there. Your aim is pretty good. Get that part right. My mouse is not working, so that's why everything's going so slow. My port in my computer. But from a distance to the ball, you're too close to it. You're kind of crowded. So what that does is it straightens up your legs. We got to get your legs a little bit more dynamic and athletic, so you can use the ground. You're just too stiff-legged. So we'll talk about getting your body in a better position. I'll give you a checklist, but you're just so close to it. It's really hard to get back to the ball. I'm sure you hit some fat and thin just like anybody else, but when you get the right distance to the ball, you're going to start getting more solid. Let's do a tour player just for a second, because I really want to focus on grip and ball position first. Let's see. Good news about this software program, I can flip a right-hand player upside down. Let's turn him around left-handed. So that's Trevor Immelman. He won the Masters. Yeah. He's hitting an 8-iron. And I'm going to put it where it should be. So you can see that that line is probably, let's say, 3 or 4 inches inside of his lead thread. So it'd be right on your right ear, or pretty close to that. Okay. Look at the difference there.
Yeah.
Because the again, he's more behind it. You're going to see an impact. He's going to be more behind it as well, just because it's just this camera shakes on this one. So I apologize. Let's take it back to the top. So he's behind it because of where your ball is. It's going to be really hard for you to get behind the ball. In fact, it's impossible for you to get behind that ball. So he's turned behind it, you tilt it in front of it. That's pretty typical of with a lot of people what I see. And then when you get back to the ball, you're kind of scooping it and you're trying to help it up in the air. It's so hard.
I used to have this problem kind of like kicking it a little bit too much. So I was trying to, lately I've been trying to get my hands ahead of my club a little bit.
Like you're in a second.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I think that you cast or early release or throw the club early is because you're so far ahead of it. It'd be like a fastball getting behind you and you're trying to catch up to the ball to hit it in the field. Because if you hit it behind you, you'd hit a foul ball.
Yeah.
Or in tennis, you'd hit it way out to the right if you were hitting. Or sorry, your case to the left because you're left-handed. Because the ball's so far back here, so you have to do this to catch back up. His hands are going to be in front of the ball, just like in any other stick sport. And you see that. Oops, sorry, too fast. All right, Trevor, slow down. So he just hit it, you just hit it. Look where the handle is. His handle is in front, just like in tennis or baseball or any other sport. That's what compresses the ball. Head behind the ball, handle in front of the ball. So we got to really work on teaching you that fundamental, that if you get your ball in a better position, it's going to take a little bit of trial and error to get that, but I don't think it'll take you that long. All right, let's look at it down the line. I'm going to put you on the computer here in a minute. Forgot what number it was. It was 312. Oops, it put you around right-handed. We're going to use the same person just so we can compare apples to apples here. I want you to really pay attention to the knee flex and the distance to the ball. That's to keep talking to this thing and shut off. Shut its own brain with the recording at home. And he's about 5'9", and you're taller than he is. You see the difference in the flexion in the legs? He just, yeah, he's probably 4 or 5, 6 inches further away. Let's say 4 or 5. And he's got the ball further forward, as you saw. So his club, when he goes back, I want you to watch the path that the club goes back. And this is the part where you've got to really work on trying to keep the club with what you're going to feel like is way out in front of you. What you do is you take the club pretty far behind you. Go pretty far inside. So his club is about parallel to the ground right there. So your club is going around behind you. See the shape of that swing? And here's just going more up. Here's just going more around. See the difference in the path of that club?
Mine's like a U almost.
Yeah, it's going too much what we would call flat. It's going around behind you. This club is going more up plane, which is going to be right over his shoulder. And it drops back down in the slot. Trevor, you're going too fast. It's kind of like skipping a rock. If you were hitting a top spin forehand, the club would go, your racket would go up and then under. Yours is going under and around behind you. And you really can't use your body very well when your posture is there as well. You do get it back in a pretty good position, but when you hit it, your body's not working. The reason your brother hits it so much further than you, he's turning through the ball better than you. You're kind of stuck. Your arms are stuck behind your body. You never do get your hips and your chest turned at impact. You're just using your hand. A lot of that's your ball position. I don't know. Do you watch golf very much?
Yeah, I do. I watch pretty well.
Good. I'm going to go to the WGC as I told you today, and I get to go to a couple of. I'll probably go to one pro tournament a month because I have a few pretty good players that are still out there, and so I get to kind of study and cheat and watch. So you've heard of a couple, I'm sure. Just for fun, I want you to watch where he is in impact. Remember, your hips hadn't turned at all, and your chest hadn't opened. And so see how his club goes up. Now he's going to drop it back under. Watch his legs and his hips there.
I'm spraying the ball.
Yeah, you're basically only using your arms and your hands because part of it's your ball position, some of it's your grip, some of it's your posture. So that's why we need to really stay focused on your fundamentals first and get your setup right. Because if you were skipping a rock, I don't think you would flip it with your wrist only. I think you would open up. If you were hitting a forehand in tennis, I think your hips and your chest and everything would be turning through the shot, right? I mean, you instinctively, I think, if you played at six sport, already know what to do. You just never use that as a tool to relate it to golf.
Yeah.
And that's so typical of somebody that just starts playing golf. If they don't get any instruction or don't get enough instruction, they just learn the way that they think that they should do it, whether they read a book or watch a video or listen to their girlfriend's dad or somebody like that. And trust me, Rob knows what he's doing. He probably hits it a pretty long way compared to you, right?
Yeah, he hits it.
Yeah, because he's using his big muscles and you're really just using your arms. These guys they're turning their body as fast as they can turn it. If you get a chance to watch the tournament this weekend and watch Jason Day or any of those guys that have speed, you watch how fast they're turning through the ball. Their legs and their hips play such a huge role in square in the face, hitting the ball on the downswing, hitting it straight, and hitting it hard. These guys don't have any hold on. They hit it. So I think those things are going to happen better when you get